This is one of my favorite episodes of the year because somehow the universe listens and things start to unfold. I've done this episode. I know I did it last year, maybe the year before, but this is going to be an annual thing because some of my favorite things happen after this. And we are going to be sharing some of my dreamiest dreams for 2026. So these are the things that are like a little scary to say out loud. But what I have found when I share these on the podcast is that you guys get on board. And this is actually how my signature program was launched. I shared it on the podcast just as a dream, as a vision. And one of my listeners, Sarah, shout out to Sarah, signed up, was like booked her call and was the first person to join my program, all because she listened to a podcast episode. Same thing with my team member, Amanda. She's actually kind of our team lead. She heard on the podcast that I was going to be hiring and looking for some help in my business. And she reached out, and we've been a match made in heaven ever since. So, shout out to Amanda. So, this is one of my favorite things to do because I'm just calling forward um, the people that love me the most, and or the podcast, I shouldn't say me, love this community the most, and they want to be part of it and help make these things happen. So as I was writing my list before the episode, it just kept getting longer and longer and longer, and I was like, okay, Liz, you need to just get started before you wish for the entire kitchen sink. So 2026, dreamiest dreams. Let's go. Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast, where your growth is our favorite topic. I'm Elizabeth Henson, and on this channel, we share behind the scenes of building a business using our community based marketing and real life lessons to make business easy and profitable. We help you combine your Dharma, your skills, and your offers to build the business of your dreams on your terms. I don't give average business advice. I hate to tell you, but I'm here to help you unlock your superpowers that are already within you. So make sure you follow along, hit that subscribe button, and I promise you'll start becoming more magnetic and see your own community grow around your brand. All right, let's do this. Should we talk about some dreamy dreams for 2026? These are my favorite kind of episodes because I am just speaking. I'm not looking at a script. I mean, I do have my list of things, but I'm not delivering any like methods or bullet points and worrying that I'm going to forget something. Like, if you're like, here's the 5 ways to master your marketing, or what was last week's episode? Is there's 3 ingredients to the offer. I'm like, what if I forget one of the ingredients? Which I know I won't, but it's so much easier when I'm just sharing with you guys things like this that are really fun and really dreamy, and I just get to ramble on. So let's get into this list. And then as you're listening, if there's anything that you want to join or be part of, please, please, please reach out. You can find me on Instagram at elizabeth.henson. All the show notes make everything really easy to find. Reply to an email. I don't care where you find me. Just message me. We'll find it. So the first one is pretty simple, and this has been on our list. I don't know if I shared this one last year, but this has been our goal the past, I guess last year was the first year we had it as a clear goal. So I would love to welcome and help 40 new Elevate members in the same calendar year. So the thing about the 40 Elevate members is not that hard to reach 40, but what we want to do is we want to reach 40 in the same calendar year. That would be significantly more than what we were able to do in 2024 or 2025. While we're also ready and equipped to scale in this way, because we've changed a little bit of how much I have to show up for each person. It's a little bit more asynchronous now, so I'm not glued to the Zoom calls as much. And I have the team. Amber is our kind of customer welcome success person, and she's ready to go. And that would just feel amazing. That's such a high touch intense coaching program to welcome and help 40 women in the same year. That would be amazing. Okay. Now, the next one, you guys know we have this new creative economy that I shared a couple episodes back, and we are already getting close to 20 members in that, I believe. But I would love to reach 250 members inside our creative economy by the end of 2026. And this is our new $50 community. This is such a no-brainer offer. And this is why one of the things I love about making offers is just making it so incredibly no-brainer that people are like, I'd be crazy not to do this. And this is the way that Elevate Economy has been landing for anyone that is familiar with me a little bit. I think an absolute stranger would probably have a hard time kind of understanding, but people who know me and understand the spaces that I create and how much we support each other and work with each other, it truly is an economy. So the people that understand that are buying into Elevate Economy very quickly. And this is a lofty one. I mean, 250 sales of anything in one calendar year is a lot for the size of my business. And that would just be incredible to have 250 Elevate Economy members in the year 2026. So I know you guys listening, some of y'all are already in there. So let's do this. Let's build this together. And then the podcast, we really crushed on podcast goals this year in 2025. And I haven't looked at the data or the analytics, but I just know that we were definitely trending upward when I have peaked. And I have recorded, gosh, did I record every single week in 2025? That would be really fun to pull. Pretty darn close. I might have only missed a week or two that I can think of. But I think this year, I should have pulled this data so that I can say I know, but we have shown up for the podcast this year, unlike any other year. Now, we did hit our 200th episode, so that was a big deal. I have made some upgrades to my studio, which I feel like I still haven't even touched what I want to do. We're going to be getting a new mic with one of those fancy, like Messy Success branded things. We're going to do that really soon, probably Q1. By the time Q1 episodes are going live, we should have that all set up. And I'm gonna continue working on this because while this studio has been much improved and we're showing up on YouTube, it's still not quite. I'm not happy with the lights. I want to get the lights brighter. Yeah, and I want it to always be ready because right now when I record these, I'm having to like kind of set up lights, camera, action, which is great if I'm batching, but sometimes I just like dread doing it because I'm like, I don't want to go through the whole setup process. And it's really not that serious, Liz. It's funny how our brain does this. Like it takes maybe 10 minutes, but for some reason it's like, I just avoid it. So I really want to continue pushing myself to explore a way to always have my podcast studio just ready to go. And we're going to continue just working on that in 2026. You know, it might be just a few things. We might be able to do a total studio overhaul and maybe I get a mural behind me. I don't know. I guess to take my own advice, I can't really reach the destination until I clearly know what that is. So I need to continue to define what does my dreamiest podcast studio look like? And then I can continue to work towards that. But baby steps. But we are going to continue showing up for the Messy Success podcast in 2026 and really continuing to stay curious on how we can grow our listenership. Because obviously we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. 200 episodes is a big deal. And before we know it, we'll be hitting 300. And I just want to make sure that we're continuing to focus on not just putting out an episode every week, but how can we make sure that we're reaching as many listeners as possible? So if you love this podcast and you want to help us reach that goal, share it with a friend, leave us a review. That would be incredible. Okay, the next one is to continue growing my speaking career and consulting. I would love to get to the point where I am speaking, once a quarter if it involves travel. If it doesn't involve travel, I can speak way more than that. but I would love to do travel speaking once a quarter. Right now, I'm probably more once or twice a year where I'm traveling to speak. I do a lot of local speaking. But yeah, we're just going to continue being open to that. The consulting, the one-to-one work, and the speaking is like the top of what I call the ascension model. Well, that's not really anything new. If you know a little bit about marketing, you've heard of the ascension model. So I don't always do a ton of marketing for those things, but we continue to stay open to do networking, to build connections, just to see what happens. No attachment. Those are always dreamy goals. And they usually just kind of sprinkle in, but for opportunity to happen, you have to be open and you have to say, I want this and I desire this and I can do this. And here's what we're working on in the background. Okay, this is a cool one because this is something new. Okay, this is probably the juiciest one on the whole episode. I probably should have led with it. But I guess I kind of wrote these down almost like in levels of importance, because if we hit our 40 Elevate members and our 250 Elevate Economy members, that allows the business to grow in all these other ways that I'm listing now. This one too, though. So in the past, for Elevate and Inspire, we have some really awesome sponsorship packages, and these do really well. My sponsors see a really great ROI. They're always like such a cool part of the room. And it really just involves the event and then a little bit of promotion before and after the event, but it's all tied to the event. But in 2026, I really want to find 2 sponsors for the entire year. And this would look like a visibility partnership where not only does that include Elevate and Inspire and all of that promotion and a speaking spot at Elevate and Inspire, but it would be like 4 podcast episodes throughout the year, like one a quarter, so that it really is this partnership and we're bringing on these people into the community in such a way that my people are totally immersed and falling in love with them, rather than just come on one podcast episode and be done with it, right? Because the one and done doesn't tend to see the same ROI that the sponsors that come to my event see, because they're on the podcast, they're in my newsletter, then they're at my event. And I'm looking and I'm like, this is such a difference in the return that they see versus just one guest that I have on the podcast. And I was like, what would it look like instead of just, going with many, to go deeper with just 2 relationships? So I've put together these really incredible year-long sponsorship packages for 2026. So if you know a business that would just love to be connected to my community, because we are ancestral, we do support each other, we have thousands and thousands of dollars that floats through our economy on a weekly basis. And if you know anyone that would love to just really be positioned in front of them, send them my way and we can see what we can do to partner. The reason I'm calling this a sponsorship and not just a collaboration is because there's no requirement for this person to do this, to like do the same for me. I don't need to be on their podcast. If they want to, great, but I'm not necessarily looking for that type of partner where the audiences have to be a perfect match. Like a tech company would be great for this, or the bank that I use, or something that is really a no-brainer for my people. But doesn't necessarily, it's not like I need to go be on all of their stuff. You know what I mean? And a bigger company where like this type of marketing really makes sense for them. But it doesn't have to be, I don't mean big as in like corporation, like tons of people or tons of revenue. Maybe I do. Something like that. See, I don't have a vision. I'm calling in. But a solopreneur could be fine too, as long as their offer is a good match. Like it wouldn't make sense for me to bring in another business or marketing coach, right? Okay, so that sponsorship package is something brand new. I think it's a way to get people even more results than what we've seen in the past. And I think it would be really, really fun. And it would help fund a lot of stuff for the podcast too. Okay, the next one is, of course, my annual event, Elevate and Inspire. We've set the dates for April 25, 26. It is a weekend this year, so that's different than the past. Now, the past 2 years, we had about 55 registrants, and I'm not sure I'm ready to put a clear number on how many I would like to see in 2026 because we're going to be making some changes. Uh, but let's just go ahead and manifest 100. If we've done 50 the last 2 years, let's manifest 100 for 2026. We're in a different space this year. We're at Gather, which is my co-working space, which I'm really excited about. It's a little bit more central Virginia Beach. But I just wanted to put the event on my list because really, as soon as the new year hits, we're going to be doing pre-sales, and we really go into event planning mode in Q1 because it comes up very quickly at the end of April. So if you're listening, save those dates, April 25 and 26. And we do have a wait list for that. We'll make sure that we put it in the show notes. So that you guys can make sure that you're first to know when the doors open. I'm pretty sure the wait list will be at elizabethhenson.co/event. I think we just need to reconnect that, or it might be event waitlist. Event waitlist sounds right. elizabethhenson.co/event waitlist. So Elevate and Inspire, big goal for 2026. And the last one is just a very kind of general one, but I have an incredible team of contractors. And if they're all listening, thank you so much. You guys, I know we have been working really hard and we've seen some really great wins in 2025, but we're still, moving the needle towards getting capital so that I can pay them more. I would love to bring them on for more hours to get them all a little bit closer to being able to be an employee. And, that's on me. I could clean house and have one employee versus, 4 or 5 little mini contractors. But the way I run my business, I really like to have people in their zone of genius doing things that they love to do versus like one jack of all trades. And I just want to continue growing the business, getting more capital, getting more funding so that I can, give my team more hours and we can continue to grow as a team. That is always at the forefront of my mind. So I'm so grateful for you guys. We wouldn't be doing this without you. We certainly wouldn't have this podcast or YouTube video going as well as we do without our team behind the scenes. And it's just always something really fun that I'm working towards is building that team. Not even so much bigger. We don't need to grow any bigger as far as more people, but I really want to continue to elevate the people that are with me. So thank you guys for that. So there you have it, my dreamy list for 2026, at least so far. I know that list is probably going to double, but I really do feel like these are the high priorities. So the 40 Elevate members in one calendar year, the 250 Elevate Economy members, those 2 incredible sponsorship opportunities, continuing to grow the podcast, and continuing to make improvements to my podcast studio, the speaking and consulting. And I think that's it. 2026 event. So thank you guys so much for being here, for listening. I would love to hear what is on your dream list for 2026. And if you're not doing this, if you're not taking the time as we wrap up Q4 of 2025, if you're not taking the time to get really clear on your 2026 goals, I want to encourage you to do that. Put a number behind it. So for me, it's not always about the revenue goals. I'm focusing on the amount of people that I can help, because if I can help that many people, then we will hit our revenue goals. The revenue is the byproduct of the helping people. So if you're always really clear on how many clients you need to get per week, per month, per year, and you're focused on reaching those clients and making sure that they can find you, making sure that you are the obvious choice to solve their problem, then the revenue stuff takes care of itself. And that's really the way that I operate, is just how can I continue to be the obvious choice for anyone who's looking for a business coach in 2026? We're going to be doing more coaching on air. We have a couple of those coming up, actually. I'm really excited for that series. And I just love what I do. I feel so blessed every day to wake up and truly feel like I get to do whatever I want every day and make money doing it. Because this doesn't feel like work to me. It's play, and it's innovative, and it's creative, and it's helping people. And uh we've made a really, really exciting decision in 2026 that I didn't share on this list, but it is going to help some of these things happen. And I will be sharing more about that. But it is definitely an investment, in of myself, and of course, financial, but it's very expansive. And yeah, I guess that's all I'll say right now. You will be finding out about it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I spill all the beans in time. But I can't wait for 2026. So thank you for being part of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of our community. And we will see you very soon. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All the things. Thank you so much for being here and pushing play today. It absolutely means the world that you have found this podcast or found this YouTube channel, and we wouldn't exist without you. So if you're curious about finding your next step in business, don't forget to take our next step action quiz at elizabethhenson.co/next. And if you love this podcast or you love this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, or leave us a review. It truly means everything. And if you have a question or a barrier in your business, we are starting a new series where we're going to be coaching live on air and taking questions and using them as inspiration for the podcast. All you have to do to submit your question, or if you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, is go to elizabethhenson.co/ask. Again, that is specifically if you are open to being vulnerable and sharing about your business and being coached live on air. We hope to hear from you. All right, I'll see you guys next week.